All right, so today we're going to talk about Europe. Um, One of your previous assignments was to tell me, somewhere you wanted to go, on a trip or a vacation to. Whenever I think about going on a vacation, I love to go to Europe. My wife has actually been to Europe, but I have never been myself. A lot of things that you see here is what I would like to go and see myself. For example, at the bottom, you have the Colosseum, which is located in Rome. You have the Eiffel Tower. Paris, France is one of the you know I guess most beautiful cities in the world. Um, and we'll look at Europe, and hopefully you'll get an idea of where you might want to go yourself here.
This is Earth. Maybe you've heard of it. I sure hope so, because you live on one of its 7 continents. If you love history, then buckle up for a trip to Europe, the birthplace of some of the most famous civilizations ever. Europe is the second smallest of the continents, but for its size and population, it takes third place, right behind Asia and Africa. Europeans live in some incredible places, from the largest island in the world, Greenland, to the smallest nation in the world, Vatican City. About 10% of the world's population live in Europe. From the subtropical beaches of Monaco to the polar tundras of Norway. You have to brave the cold to see some of Europe's natural wonders. Iceland has one of the best views of nature's light show, the Northern Lights. If you are not afraid of heights, head to the border of Italy and Switzerland. You can climb one of the most famous mountains in the world, the Matterhorn. It looks like a giant tooth, right? Some of Europe's wonders were built by hand. You may have heard of a few, like the Eiffel Tower that soars above the city of Paris, France. It was once the tallest building in the world and has almost 7 million visitors every year. Or check out the Colosseum in Rome, Italy. It's the biggest amphitheater in the world, made of stone and concrete and built almost 2,000 years ago. In the 6th century in Athens, Greece, amazing artistic theaters and temples were built. Ancient Greeks loved watching plays and hosting special events to honor their gods. The celebrations held in the city of Olympia inspired the world's Olympic Games. Europe is filled with more than just amazing places and people. It's also home to a few amazing animals. In the western forests of Europe, you may hear gray wolves howling, brown bears hunting, golden eagles soaring overhead. In Eastern Europe, you may see the rare Euro-Asian lynx and the European bison. On the northern edges of Europe, you may even see a polar bear. Europe is packed with over 742 million people in 47 countries, enjoying beautiful views of mountains and valleys, coastlines and skylines. Europe is full of incredible sights and fascinating cultures. No wonder the most visited continent on Earth is, you guessed it, Europe.
All right, so here are some of the physical features, landforms, and resources. If you look, Europe is composed of many peninsulas, islands, large plains, and mountains. These are the major physical and environmental features. We're going to cover probably the peninsulas, a little bit of the cities today. So Europe is part of a large landmass called Eurasia. Whenever I think about Eurasia, I think about Russia because Russia is in Europe and in Asia as well. The peninsulas that you will see that are the most predominant are the Iberian, the Italian peninsula, which you'll learn a lot more about in World History 1, the Scandinavian and Balkan peninsulas. which you'll learn about as well next year. The islands, Great Britain, Ireland, Sicily, and Iceland, and then the North European plains, and then for much of what you would see in the Scandinavian peninsula, you have the fjords. Right, so Europe overview, it's half the size of the United States. So, it's the second smallest continent. I think, Oceania is the smallest, but the second highest population and population density, meaning a lot of people live in a small area. So you have a lot of cities and urban areas. There's a peninsula of peninsulas, and you have many islands around, this continent, especially like in the Mediterranean area. Mediterranean Sea is what you see over here to the right. You see the boot, the satellite image, that is Italy. Over to the right, you will have Greece, and lots and lots of islands that dot that peninsula. All right, the Northern European plain is a flat area that extends from France to the Netherlands, to Germany, Poland, and then to Russia. The Northern European plain has very good soil called Chernozem. Europe has 6 major peninsulas: Scandinavian, Jutland, Iberian, Italian, Crimean, and Balkan peninsulas. And when you look at this map, I think this map really explains a little bit better, because some of these areas here that you'll find even today are, important areas. If you look down here at this, at the very bottom where it says Balkan Peninsula, I don't know if my arrow comes up on it that well, but anyway, the Balkan Peninsula is located right here at the bottom. This is where you find Greece, the birthplace of democracy and all the good things that come from Greece. The Italian peninsula is here. It's shaped like a boot. It's where you have modern day Italy. They formed our type of government. They're the originators of a republic. The Iberian Peninsula is down here in Spain. If you look up here at the very top, you have the Scandinavian Peninsula, which is, Northern Europe, that area there. The Crimean Peninsula is right here, right above the Black Sea. The Caucasus Mountains are right here. This is an important area to Russia because this is their warm water seaport, which connects them to the Mediterranean Sea, especially in the old days. All right, so what are the fjords? One of the questions that you have to answer on your worksheet today asks you what the fjords are. They're deep water-filled valleys formed by glaciers, and you see these in Norway and Scandinavian countries like Sweden. Not so much Finland. Finland's a little bit different, but Norway and Sweden, you do see a lot of the fjords, and that's what they look like right there on the right. Large, deep water-filled valleys cut out by ice and water. The Jutland is in Denmark. It's a very fertile soil, very fertile lowland. There you see the Norwegian Fjord. There you see the fjords and glaciers. All right, the southern peninsulas, you have the Iberian Peninsula, which is right here over on the right-hand side. This is where you're going to find Spain and Portugal, okay? The Apennine, or the Italian Peninsula, right down here to your, over to your right, you see it in dark blue. It's where you find Italy, the Italian Peninsula, shaped like a boot. And the Balkan Peninsula includes this area right here, which is really important: Greece and Albania. Very mountainous, lots of countries, and what we call Balkanization. The Balkans always have a, I guess what you would say, a very kind of, I don't want to say it's bad there, but they always have conflict and strife because of the many, many countries that you find in here. You see Greece is down here at the bottom on this Balkan Peninsula, and then you have countries like Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, Croatia, and these, Kosovo, these have been places of, war and ethnic sort of, struggle for many, many, many years. There you see on the left-hand side, you see Italy, the Italian peninsula. From a satellite image, it looks like a boot kind of kicking a football or something right here. Then over to your right, you have the Balkan Peninsula with Greece and the Iberian over here with Spain. See how it looks like a boot? All right, the major cities that you find, okay, major cities you will find are in London. London, England is where you'll find things like Big Ben, the Parliament, all of a lot of good historical things, the royal family, etc. You have Paris, which is in France, Berlin, which is in Germany, Rome, which is in Italy. You have Athens, and for one thing, if you look down here, the Colosseum is located in Rome, and then this is the Parthenon that you will find in Athens, which is in Greece, the birthplace of democracy. Kievan, Russia, this is the onion-shaped domes that you find here on their churches. Kiev is in Russia. The major cities to me that you'll find in Russia too are St. Petersburg and Moscow. You have Vienna, Austria, and Budapest, Hungary are your major cities. So we're going to stop right here, and I am going to go ahead and unlock the assignment so you can answer